Hello YouTube, hello McTell, hello Red Pill. This is Red Pill to win. I'm gonna go in on a little bit. Just a little bit. Not much. Actually, no, I'm just probably gonna act daggone fool. You gentlemen who basically go to church every day. I go to church every Sunday. There's no way that the Lord will bless me will bless me and my family with everlasting happiness and joy. And we will never see hardships because we have God in our lives.
The total self.
We have God in our lives. Well, I'm gonna say that, and the female pastor will ensure that we are blessed. We are blessed while waiting for my first or second oldest son, which is not mine, to come of age so she can teach him how to be a man. But where are my manners? Hello YouTube, hello MGTOW, hello Red Pill. This is Red Pill on the win. Yeah, I'm gonna be scathing a little bit. I'm gonna be scathing a little bit of it on this rolling video. Well, let's see. Why am I outworked out? Well, Gone with John did a good job pumping me up, you know. Give me some revamped energy. You see, I want to elaborate. I want to break it down further, you know, with everybody. That I want to break, she's not yours, it's just your turn. With a little bit further. Further than a lot of people in the manosphere have taken it. There's her, and there's everything else than you. That goes with not just her attention, not just her time, but with her body. Not just with their attention, with her body as well. Use your imagination, people. I'm pretty sure you're intelligent. There's her, everything else, then you. And that goes not just for your attention and time and affection, that goes for her body as well. See, first things foremost, why do I say that? Men are curious. Women are curious. We're human beings. We're both curious, but women are curious in a different way. Women are more likely to act upon the curiosity. They're more likely to act upon the curiosity when it comes to copulation. Why? Because they got a million and one options of dudes and toys. They have 1,000,001 options of dudes and toys. Let that sink in. Let that rattle around in your head. They got 1,000,001 options of dudes and toys. It's just what it is. They've got 1,000,001 options, ranging from even in the modern day, they have had 1,000,001 options of dudes and toys. They had doctors that basically, they call it treating hysteria. No, that doctor was jacking dude's wife off with a hand crank vibrator. That doctor was jacking dudes wives off with a vibrator, with a hand crank vibrator. Women had the first massage parlors. In America, in some places. Women had the first massage parlors. I'm pretty sure if you go back into the Sears catalog, they had little attachments that you could place on your hand crank blender. Let me pray for this. They had little attachment that you could place over your hand crank blender that turns your hand crank blender into a vibrator. It is what it is. I'm gonna try a little experiment with the lighting here. Oh, that's not bad. Let me know what you think. They had little blenders, turn them hand crank blenders into a vibrator. If you go back far enough in the Sears catalog. I mean, really. And they complain about our toys. They complain about us getting a doll. They're funny. Now, I don't mean to tee off on the curtain. Yes, I do. Well, first things first. Let's talk about the Immaculate Conception. Well, let's talk about the Immaculate Conception. Whether you believe, whether you glorify it or not, you're glorifying a man getting cucked. What's that you say? What's that you say? You're glorifying a man getting cucked. It is what it is. I bet you any money, that Mary never looked at her husband the same way. That Mary never looked at her husband the same way. Why don't you have anything about the scriptures about Mary's husband? You have 1,000,001 things about Mary Magdalene, the mother of fornication. Mary Magdalene, the mother of Jesus Christ. You have all these things about Joseph, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Romans, something Corinthians. You have all these scriptures of all these people. Romans, Ephesians, Philippians. I can't pronounce them all, but you have all these scriptures about all these events going on in the freaking history, in the biblical history, but you have no scriptures about Mary's husband. Why is that? Because he never saw her the same way, and she never saw him the same way. It's psychological here. When your wife cheats on you as a man, do you see her the same way? No, you do not. When your husband cheats on you, do you see him the same way? No, you don't. You see him different. They see each other differently. Being that she was the Immaculate Conception, he never saw her the same way, and he literally probably could have never been in the same room with her. which basically brings it up to the government. The second you sign your name on the dotted line for marriage, you have basically signed your freedoms away. Well, what little freedoms you have. What little freedoms you have. Because if you're an 80%er or a 90%er like I am, you don't got that much pull. You don't get that much sway. You got varying degrees of sway. It is what it is. You gotta pay. You gotta pay big. You know? You pay big. You don't pay, but you see, the thing is, a $600 flight, a $1,500 flight, a first class flight, or business class or first class flight is different for the 90%ers, between the 90%ers and the 90%, 80% to 10 to 20%, or the top 1%. A first class flight means different. It means something different. You know? A first class flight for a 90%er is a novelty. Is a luxury, is a bucket list. A first class flight for a rich dude is just basically every day. It's just basically, yeah. It's a taxi ride. It's a taxi ride, you know? It's just a taxi ride. Now, I got a question. Since y'all are so adamant on going after Andrew Tate, why don't you go after the Arabian princes that the Arabian princes that fly women out from America, Thailand, Bangladesh, the Philippines, Japan, China, UK, Britain, Russia, Ukraine, India, Pakistan, Australia. Why don't you go after the Arabian princes that fly women out from other countries to go hang out with them, to go fornicate with them, so that they can so basically they can get ran through by their chic friends. I'm gonna tell you why. Because they got power. They have their own country. They got oil money. Most of them got oil money. Some of them got power, run countries. They run countries. You know? They run whole countries. And you think you're safe with it? You think your Israeli girls are like, oh, girl, woman over in Israel ain't getting flown over to the middle to Dubai, to Jordan, to the UAE, and getting ran through by them sheiks? You just keep your little fantasy. You keep your fantasy. They're getting flown first class. They are getting flown first class. You're delusional. Y'all some delusional people. Whoo, Lord have mercy. I was going to do a live stream on Thursday, but I got too much going on with this truck, you know. So I uploaded a video, uploaded a short to show people how to disable that or delete that blind spotter crap. But, you know, but speaking of which, y'all stay frosty, y'all stay fluffy. Because coming to a country near you. Oh, nobody. This country has not been touched by. Yes, it is. Yes, it has. If you live in a city and you have technology and you have social media, your country's been touched. Your country's been touched. Just letting that sit out there for a bit. Your country's been touched. You know, It's been touched. Now I will give the Filipina P her just dues. She is talking a good game. You gotta respect her for that. You gotta respect her for that. You know, you gotta respect her for that. She's talking a good game. Now, do I believe it? No. Am I willing to give it a shot? I'd have to flip a coin. I'd really have to flip a coin. So I'm gonna leave that coin right there. I ain't flipping no coins. I'm not willing to try it yet. Am I slowly slipping back into something? Yeah, I might be slipping back, but it's for a good reason. Because the more I see, the more it ain't worth it. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. You know? You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's real crazy. This whole 3 years have been crazy. Funny to me, but crazy, nonetheless. Now, I think it's the Pew Research Center, whatever it is, say by 2030, 50% of women are going to be single and childless and focusing on their career. Oh, good for them. 33% of men let me rephrase that. Women outnumber men in this world, right? So, I don't know the percentage because they keep giving averages per country. But, if you really think about it, it's more than 33% of men. It's more than 33% of men. Because if men are self-deleting themselves, in the numbers that they're saying they are, there's no way. There's no mathematical way. And I'm not a mathematician. I literally failed math. There's no mathematical way possible that it's 33% of men dying single and childless. There's no mathematical way. There's no possible way. Now, I will say some of those men, now I will say that a few of those men did get married and have children. But look at it logistically. When you have a bunch of men there's young men that are literally frustrated that they can't seem to find themselves a decent life companion of the opposite gender, and they're literally self-deleting themselves. Is it really 33%? Or is it more along the lines of 45% to 50%? Let that sink in. It takes 4 quarters to make $1. It takes 4 quarters to make $1. So if it's 30, we're gonna knock it down 25%. That's about 7% difference, right? But we have 1 in 3 men ready to delete themselves. So we're gonna bring it down to 50% of men are dying childless and single. If you count the self-deletion chart, the self-deletion process.
So that leaves 50% of men left, right? So where's the other 25? So that in 30 years, with the rate, in about 10 years, 20 years, with the rate that they're saying, the male population will be significantly down. Not to count the hormone replacement and surgeries. I mean, literally, if Japan has failed. Japan has failed. My advice to you, because in 10 years, Japan's going to be no more. Japan's going to be a defunct nation. Japan is going to be a defunct nation, and China and South Korea are not going to be far off. I'm just saying. The one-child policy is to what feminism is to us. One-child policy, which basically makes it so that men outnumber women, has made it difficult for men to find a decent woman. Extremely difficult, but difficult nonetheless. Made it extremely difficult for men to find a woman. And now men outnumber women over there in China. So now we got women being picky, overly picky in China. Women outnumber men here in America. But because they have the advent of the government, social media, and simps and all their funding brought to you by simps like you. You know? And they have power. It is what it is. Brought to you by simps like you. So Chinese men are giving up. American men are giving up. Japanese got the herbivores. The Chinese got Shan Yu. A lot of men don't stand a chance. In about 10, 20 years, Japan is literally going to be, what's the word? Defunct. My advice to you is to buy as many Japanese video games as you can. And convert them to take American electricity. Or get yourself a step up. Or get yourself a step up system. Because this stuff's about to get heavy. Because Japan's going to collapse. South Korea's going to collapse. And it's going to become one Korea. I'll get into that on my live stream Saturday. But this is Red Pill in the Wind, signing off.